Arg, what's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
It's the Fish and Pirate Show.
Yes.
Fish and Pirate Project.
Right.
Whatever it is, it's our lunch.
Watch fish eat.
It's Friday. We're at Four Rivers, our favorite go-to.
Bro, I need a napkin.
He needs napkins already. That's my foot-long messy dog.
I've already made a mess.
Pork and this and that. Fish is eating a salad.
Yes.
Loaded with smoked turkey, though. It looks good.
It's a good looking. You guys all like to see our food. See,
Yeah.
It's a good looking deal.
It's the whole haul.
It's actually easier though than when we film and I'm normally like have my hands up. I'm like, you know,
Shoving it in.
right. This is more like sophisticated. It's more like, you know.
Except for I feel like my arm is
Although
stuck
Pirate is
here.
over here shoveling a freaking.
I think I'm gonna just knife and
That's
fork.
literally a foot long. That's
It is.
bigger than a foot long.
It's big.
That is wow. Holy cow! I didn't
We're
realize
gonna get one in for the camera.
There we go. Okay.
All right, fantastic.
I got something for you. Right out of the back. Okay. So,
Look at that.
yeah, Pirate. He helped me out because I wasn't able to meet up with Silver Scorpion, and I wasn't able to meet up with Mad Stacker. Did you give him those, right?
Yeah, I gave
Okay.
him each.
Okay, so you gave him those chips. So hopefully you guys got those chips, and Pirate's not, didn't keep them. But he gave away
Loaded.
his chips. So I was like, I'll bring you new chips. So I brought you those chips plus some bonus chips if you want to send two to a person, on the community.
Yeah, what I realized more than anything is instead of me getting 3 sets of chips, this just means he's gonna be like, Pirate, you're meeting up with so-and-so, I can't be there, give him a set of chips. That's what he's doing. He's prepping me ahead of time.
You're my depot.
I'm just his middleman.
No.
Keeping everybody happy.
Two sets are for you. 2 sets are for you. 2 sets are for you.
Very cool.
And one set is like if you do a giveaway or something on your channel, throw them 1 to one and 1 to the other.
Well, I left all mine behind. I had stickers, not new chips,
Right.
but I do need new chips.
You do need to. You have so much.
What do you got?
So this is the other thing. I know we're about to get into what Pirate's going to talk about. So
Yeah.
I have not looked at this.
At all?
No, not at all. I opened it and I took the label off so you wouldn't have the address, but I basically did an impromptu trade with Silver and Cigars.
Okay. Shout out to Silver and Cigars,
He's
homie of the show.
Yeah, if your AC has gone out, call him. He's the guy.
Yeah.
Basically, so a lot of people are collecting the Perth Mint Dragon Coin bars. They go back to 2018.
Yes.
They're very difficult to get the older years, and if you missed out on it, it's tough. It's tough to go.
It's hard to make it up.
So I've had 3 full sets from 2018 to current.
Love the
And
dragons.
then when I found out he was missing some dates, I'm like, why am I collecting 3 sets? Because every time I have to buy them, it's too many. So I'm like, I'm gonna scale down to 2 sets. I'm gonna send him what he's missing. So I sent him 3 of them, what he was missing,
Nice.
his dates. And then he would not just take it as a gift.
No.
He has to. Oh, I was fine with giving it to him as a gift, but I totally understand. I would have been the same way.
I'm the same
He
way.
wanted to reciprocate, which I'm not gonna refuse. So you let the man be generous back. So he sent me this.
Okay.
And I said, because the value of those coin bars, if you look on eBay, the comps are kind of high. I said, don't worry about that. Just go weight for weight. Just send me something cool. I don't know what he sent me. He told me something about it, so I believe there's a 2-ounce bar in there, but I don't know. So I thought we could see what it is, and you could.
I'll see what it is.
It's an episode of How'd I Do. Remember we did How'd I Do the
Yeah,
other day?
you traded him 3 ounces,
Yeah.
and he traded you 2.
What?
3. You don't know.
I don't know. He might have. Hey, maybe the 2-ounce one is so cool. That,
Well, I can tell you it is cool. All right, we got some cool stuff. So first off, you got the Aztec bar. The Aztec has always been, it's in an airtight, don't worry everybody. It's always been one of my favorites, so that's very cool. But you've got the Ancient Egypt pour.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is a Monarch Metals pour or if this is somebody else, but I've seen similar things to this. It's like the ancient Egyptian silver.
So
It's very cool.
I
And
believe
I
this is-
assume that's 2 ounces because it looks too big to be 1.
I believe this is 2 ounces. And I'd have to look on here to see if it's 3 9s or what it says. Or like, it's hard to read all the hieroglyphic writing on there, but there's some stuff that looks like it might be. Yeah, so it should be 2 ounces.
It's written in Egyptian.
So that's pretty cool. That is very cool.
I think
so,
that's a great blind trade.
Good blind trade. All right, there we go. I appreciate you, Robert. Thank you, Silver and Cigars.
I like it. Yeah, he just did
put a link to his channel in this video.
Yeah, I think he had just done a video where he cashed in a bunch of.
Send me letters. Hey, okay, it says, hoping you don't have either bar. Thanks for helping me complete my Dragon series.
Very cool.
I did not have either bar. Well, no, I didn't have the other one. I didn't have the 1 ounce. I've had a 5 ounce version, a 10 ounce version. I've had the rounds, but I've never had the 1 ounce bar of the Aztec. So, anyways, there we go. That's what I got.
Good trade.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think he just cashed in something like $3,000 worth of scrap. Copper, small engines, like he had a whole crazy thing.
Yeah, man. I asked him, I'm like, where did you put that? And he goes, it's in another video, and it's in his garage. And I'm like,
yeah.
What you need is like a dumpster to keep it compact, because that can just take over your whole garage.
There's some crazy good scrappers that are around. Silver Scorpion as well. He does a lot of big time scrapping. Like it's part-time job for those guys.
I actually do scrap with work. It's just to get rid of this stuff, and we pay a company. They come, they pick it up, and then they send us a check in the mail once a month.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Whatever. But
that's
it's,
a nice arrangement.
through our business, you just get back a few bucks. It's stuff that we're gonna throw away. So
why not?
Yeah.
Well, it is warm. It is Florida, and it is summer. Today's not as hot as it's been, but I am starting to sweat a little bit.
You might have the meat sweat.
I had to meet a client this morning, so I'm wearing the full garb.
Oh.
Looks like a picnic blanket on me, but anyway, not typical of me.
You look really good.
Yeah, fancy today.
Yeah.
So
I did a video today. I'm just letting you know. Because you don't watch my videos. So that way.
I do watch your videos.
Yeah, so I posted it, but in the beginning I talked about how that you're the coolest guy in the community.
That's true.
And I laid a case for it. And here was my case.
Let's hear the case.
You like and get along with everybody.
A meeting.
And everyone likes and gets along with you.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that everybody likes and they don't like those people. They're like the prick. And then there's people that like everybody, but nobody likes them. So they're the weirdo.
Right.
You like everybody and everyone likes you. You are hands down the coolest dude in the community. That's why I come on your videos for my own credibility.
What's not to like? Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. And you keep it,
We're having fun. We always have a good time.
Wow.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Fish is top notch as well.
Bottom of the barrel.
I wanted to bring up a topic that I knew you'd have an opinion on. And I have an opinion on it too, but for a completely different reason.
Okay.
I'm going to tell a quick story and then we're going to get into what the topic is.
Okay.
The story is I was watching...
Total side note, in my video this morning, I mentioned that he has stories for days. I said the guys live 5 lifetimes and a half a lifetime. So it's ironic that today you're now telling the story.
If they watch my Pirates Life series, right. I'm telling my life stories.
Stories for days. All right, I'll show you.
I think this is rotating on us. So here's the deal.
Okay.
I'm watching Joe Rogan a couple days ago. I don't watch all his stuff. I just jump in here and there if there's something interesting. And he brought up the Olympics and he likened it to the Roman Colosseum of the past, which is literally where this stems from, was Greece and the games, the events, right? And he paralleled that to today, it being the distraction of the world, right? Everybody watches the Olympics in some form or fashion. At least a high percentage of people do. And it's this entertainment. And he went, the direction of beyond the distraction, that it was wrong, that, the athletes weren't making the money, the corporate entities were making the money, which I agree with as well. But the distraction...
Some of the athletes are professional and some of them aren't.
Correct.
Depends on the sport.
And clearly, if you do well, there's opportunities to be had in advertising and different things as well. So there is, but to his point, you win a gold medal in a lot of these countries and they're going home with nothing. A lot of these smaller countries, they paid their own way to get there, Many of them have always paid for their own training. Along the same lines, they told the story of a couple of Mexican Olympiads. They had to promise their medals. If they won their medals, they had to promise their medals away in exchange for somebody that paid the room and board for them to get there and be able to stay at the Olympics. And that's, you know, obviously
Like
that's
their sponsor.
yeah, their sponsor. That was how they were going to pay him back, was the chance that they won. They literally had to give up their medals, be it gold or whatever it was.
I could never take that. If I sponsored someone, I would not have them give me my medal.
Well, I get it, but this is the world we live in, right? And so for some people, you know, it's just one of those things that you look into and you go, yeah, it's a big conglomerate, it sucks. But I bring it up because this year, more than ever, and the direction Joe was going with it was, the people that run the Olympic committees, they're not like you and I. These are the above people, right? These are the elites, if you will. These are those people. And so when they do something like this entry, this Friday night show that they did, the opening ceremony, and they throw all this like gay, anti-Christian rhetoric into the opening ceremony, to them, it's an inside joke. To them, they look at that and they laugh and go, ha, 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 look at that. But to the rest of us, normal people, not only do we not relate, we're not impressed, right?
Yeah.
Now, in regard to that, you and I have very different beliefs. You know, you are God-fearing, very Christian, upstanding individual.
You don't fear God?
Truthfully, we've never gotten into this topic.
Okay. Go ahead. I
like the idea, but I don't even believe in God.
Okay.
I like the idea.
Yeah, I got you.
He's all, this conversation's over.
I got you.
Be that as it may.
Be that as it may.
Not only did they throw all this stuff in that was crazy and unnecessary, they have gone as far in the surfing competition. One of the surfers had Jesus on his surfboard. They actually made him take it off, cover up the picture of Jesus on his surfboard. There's also been talk of people that have had to remove their Christian symbols, their crosses, in different sporting events. Now, to my knowledge, this has never been the case, and the fact that they're coming down on something so hard that so many people believe in, I think that's a I think it's beyond a tragedy.
They wouldn't come down. They would. There's only one God who gets mocked. It's Jesus Christ.
Right.
They don't mock the Muslims.
No. They don't mock anybody.
The Hindu. They don't mock the Buddhist. They don't even mock the Jew.
Nor do they limit them. Their exposure,
only
everybody
mock
gives them fair
Jesus
birth.
Christ.
Right.
And do you want to know why? And then I'll let you continue. There's an absolute reason why.
Tell me why.
He is the only threat to the enemy. He's the only one that is a threat to Satan. Every other religion is of the devil.
Now,
that is the reason why that in this world, and I know you're like, I don't believe in God, so I'm not taking it all there. I'm just saying,
right.
If you think about it, why is Jesus Christ the only one that's mocked? He's the only threat to the devil. He's the only threat to the enemy. Everyone else is in support of him.
It's a legitimate argument.
But anyways.
Unless you're somebody that believes otherwise. If you believe otherwise, that's your right.
I can only speak
your
truth.
Belief.
Not my truth. I can only speak the truth. Which you can call it my truth or whatever, but this is what I believe is the truth.
This is your belief system. Yeah. And I can appreciate that. And here's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Even though I'm not a believer as such,
everyone always calls me when we're in.
I'm popular. All right, I cut everybody off
You
there.
got to
Stupid
splice
phone
it.
call.
Now you gotta edit.
I know, I gotta edit.
Yeah, you never edit. I would never edit.
So even though I'm not a believer as such, here's where I take issue. And where I take issue is I have a lot of good Christian friends. I have a lot of friends that believe other things and that believe nothing. And these are all good friends and good people to me. And anybody that strives to be better or do better in life, whether that's because you're Christian or otherwise, that's something to be celebrated. That's something to be applauded. That is fantastic. And if having Jesus on your neck helps remind you to be a good person, or having it on your surfboard helps make you feel like I'm having a better day, there's not a thing wrong with that. In fact, I would advocate for that. That's the freedoms we all know and love, or at least it was, or at least it should be, right?
Yeah.
But we've come to this point now where it's come under attack, and very singularly under attack, to the point of we want to take that. We want to take that right from you. And it's not just these other countries. Here in America, we're seeing it as well.
Yeah.
You can't speak up. Oh, you're Christian? You can't speak up. You're the devil. You might as well be the devil. And they turn this around. So for me, I am very disappointed because I get the distraction. I also feel like it heads us in a completely wrong direction of we're going to take away the good things in life and we're going to show and exploit and put on out for the world to see the things that really prove no use or worth to anybody. I don't have an opinion. I mean, I have an opinion. I won't get into it because I'm in public. But I have family members that are a certain way that I have no issues with that. But to try and force that look upon anybody, they're not even impressed with that, to be perfectly honest. So your thoughts in all of this as well, where it's going, the state of it. Because for me, it's a big turnoff. And honestly, I hope they lose a ton of money, and I hope it hurts them in the wallet, because that's the only place it seems to hurt them. And at this point in time, when we're talking about a spectacle and a distraction, you're doing more harm than good. You're putting guys in the boxing ring with women. You're taking Jesus out of it. You're throwing in all the weird and creepies. What is the point at this point?
That blue dude, and then they had a kid on stage with him.
What is the point?
Yeah.
Right?
Right. So, are you asking me now?
Yeah, I'm asking you. What do you think about this and the Olympics and everything that's going on?
Well, I agree with everything you said. I do think, regardless of my Christian faith, I think it should be applauded when people are making an attempt to better themselves, right?
Right.
Like they're trying to do something, right? Unfortunately, that's not where the power to better yourself comes from you trying to do something. It comes through actually from you surrendering to somebody else. But I don't disagree that it's a good thing, right? I don't disagree with that at all. When people are trying harder, that's a good thing. But the political side of it, the shove it down our throat side of it, man, I can start ranting about that forever. You know, and you and I would be lockstep, like just
Right.
100%.
Right.
They just want to shove it down your throat. But as a Christ follower, I look at it through the lens of Christ, of not through his lens, but through the lens of a Christ follower, right? I'm not God. I'm just saying I'm looking through that lens, and you know sometimes so the devil would be perfectly happy for you to just. I say you. I'm just speaking. Right. For a person to just be a good moral person, right? Mm-hmm. Checks all the moral boxes, has no faith, and they can live out this life with no guilt, no shame, just a good moral person doing good moral things, and just go straight to hell. He's most happy if you don't even believe in him. That's his greatest trick. C.S. Lewis said his greatest trick was convincing people that he doesn't even exist, right? And so this is the strategy of the enemy, and this is what he goes after. However, sometimes I think the devil likes to flaunt it. And sometimes he likes to push it out there. And I think the Olympics is a place where he's sitting back and he's flaunting it.
Right.
Because he's putting on a spectacle that's absolutely both. There's a part of society that is applauding him, and then there's a part of society that's vomiting over what they just saw.
Right.
And in both cases, he's happy. He's happy that we're vomiting because he's throwing it in our face, and he's very pleased that other people are glorifying it and saying this is a great thing. And this isn't his normal tactic. It's not his everyday tactic, but sometimes he likes to flaunt it, and that's what I see happening. And as a man of faith, a Christ follower, what we're called to do, what I believe I'm called to do, is to pray for those people. And that's our, we're called to fight, but we fight differently. We fight through loving each other. You and I have differences of opinions on different things, but you're my brother and I love you, man. And I'm not going to let differences of where we come from, be a separation. Which is what the devil wants to do, is divide us all. And so we're called to fight through love. We're called to fight through patience, and we're called to fight through prayer. And we submit that to the Lord. But we live in evil times, man. Really evil times. And the whole, I thought you were going with the boxing angle. I mean, that is just. As a father of two daughters that were competitive athletes.
Right.
One of my daughters is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and jiu-jitsu. It ain't like being a black belt in karate, the 10-year-old black belt in karate.
Right.
If you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you've trained for roughly 10 to 15 years in a combat sport, and you are a beast, right?
Yeah.
She is a black belt. She can pretty much destroy any purple belt. If it's a brown belt, if they extremely outweigh her, a man, she may have trouble, and if it's a black belt male, she will get destroyed every single time. Right? She has zero chance because she is a female.
Right.
And
there's just physiological.
And as awesome as she is, and as amazing, I love to watch. And you've seen videos of her fight, and she dominates, and she is incredible against females. Mm-hmm. And sometimes she does beat up males. And when she first started competing, she only fought against other boys, and she would beat them all until they hit puberty. And then right about 16, when the girls stopped competing against the boys, because the boys are now dominating and they have physical strength the girls don't have.
Right.
And then my other daughter, she was a 3-time national champion in road cycling.
Right.
Lance Armstrong style, right? She raced against the boys at a younger age, and she beat them all up until they hit puberty. And then she eventually started racing at the professional level as a teenager, but only against females. And if they try and even race against the males, they get destroyed. So it's comical and extremely heartbreaking and sad to see what's going on, that we're celebrating a man beating up a woman in a boxing ring and saying, oh, this is for female empowerment, and a male is destroying a female. And the devil is sitting back and he is laughing his butt off. He's saying, this is hilarious. So you guys are glorifying this, and the rest of you are.
He loves the show.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it because the reason I believe it's in Ezekiel, but I may have it backwards. But basically, the devil was more or less like his arms were like instruments, right? And he led worship to the Lord, and his body was like these crystals, and it reflected the light of God as they worshipped him and as they worshiped the Lord. But he got tired of people looking through him to God, and he wanted people to look at him, his pride, and that led to the fall and him getting kicked out of heaven and all the other stuff. But that's what it's about. Now he's back to, look at, everyone's looking at me. I'm getting what I want, and this is how I see it. This is the lens I see it through. I try not to get too frustrated with the politics of it, because, as you know, we've had this discussion before. Like, I'm a Trumper, right? I can pull out my Trump hat or whatever. I can, and Trump gets in office. What changes? Is pornography suddenly illegal? No. Is all the other malice and hate and division suddenly taken out? No. Nothing changes, And so I can get caught up on the politics side, and I certainly want people that have my morals and values in office and all those things. But the bigger picture is, this is a spiritual war. This is not a man against them. This is a war. This is a spiritual battle that's being fought and on display for all of humanity to see. That is my take.
With that said, let me reel you back in.
Okay.
Because it was about where I thought you would be. What does that have as far as the Olympics on you, as far as an effect of you watching or enjoying the Olympics? Because I think you're in a unique perspective, and a lot of people don't know this, but he's a natural athlete. You know, he works out, he posts it on Instagram. This is a man that appreciates discipline. And so when you see other athletes from around the world, whatever their discipline is, they've worked super hard to get there.
Yeah.
You want to give them their moment. I mean, even, you know, I still end up watching with the wife at night because it's incredible seeing what people at the top of their game can achieve. At the same time, I'm a little conflicted because I hate promoting or giving into that bit of, like, it's not acceptable to me what's happening, but I still want to appreciate the athletes who I think have become the forgotten segment of the Olympics, which the Olympics should be completely about is the athletes, not all the other stuff.
Right, exactly.
So have you made any decision one way or another? Do you watch in general? Do you not watch at all? What's your take on all of that?
So I'm a hypocrite, as are all Christians.
Everybody's
right,
a hypocrite.
Right, but specifically on this thing, we're very hypocritical in what we choose to say. Oh, I'm not gonna. That bothers me. You know, like for instance, I canceled my Disney's subscription because I just couldn't put up with the nonsense coming out of there, the wokeness. Right? I'm like, I'm done with Disney. There's shows that I'm missing now. I don't care. Right? I haven't canceled my Paramount subscription subscription because I love to watch the show Frasier. Right? If I take Frasier away, my wife's gonna not be happy. I'm not gonna be happy. We love the old episodes of Frasier. Paramount's even more disgusting than Disney. Okay, I will not shop. I will not shop at Target ever for the rest of my life.
Went woke, yeah.
Right? I will never do it. Yet I wear clothing and I buy products and food and all these things from other companies that are extremely woke. Right? So I think, as a Christian, which is the lens I look at it through, you have to draw some lines in your life. And some things, we're called to be in this world, but not of the world. We're called to make a difference in the world, and you don't make a difference from hiding from the world.
Right.
How are you gonna make a difference in the people's lives if you're never in their life? So I've been learning over the years to try and strike that balance and finding that balance between, you know, loving the world, but not loving the things of the world. Loving the people of the world, but not the things of the world.
Sure.
And so so when I say I'm a hypocrite, I mean, there's things that are just like, well, you don't like this, but you like this, what, you know, and it's very difficult. And so
you cut out the easy things and you hold on to the hard things. I get it.
So I try and I try and just make a difference where I can. As it relates to the Olympics, I'm a huge track and field junkie. I watch every of the Grand Prix. I watch all of the World Championships. I watch all of there's a series they do. I forgot the name of the series, but it's the Professional Track League all over the world. I watch all of them. The Prefontaine Classic, everything. I'm a junkie.
So you know Noah Lyle.
Oh yeah, I watch it all. Right? I watch it all.
Kid's a superstar.
I have not, and when the Olympics are over, I will continue to watch it all.
Right.
I have not watched a single event in the Olympics. And I will not watch a single event in the Olympics because what they did was so offensive. It was such an assault on Jesus Christ that it cannot be overlooked to me. And I'm perfectly content to not watch 3 weeks of a sport in protest to the Olympic Federation. And then when it's over, I'll go back to watching my athletes, and maybe down the road I'll watch some of the races on YouTube or whatever, but I'm not going to sit there and support the sponsors and watch their advertising. I'm not going to, doesn't mean I won't see some of the races down the road that, when he set the world record, I'll probably go rewatch it again.
Right.
But I'm not watching it live. I'm not watching it now. And I'm not watching the broadcast of people celebrating the Olympics for what it is. And so the short answer, I boycotted it completely. My family, we are not watching a single episode, but it's not because I don't love track and field. I love it.
Did that just come on this year?
My love is...
No, the boycotting of it. Did that happen this year due to the opening
ceremonies? It came
ceremonies?
on like 10 days ago at the opening ceremonies. You know, when there's parading around men as women, painted blue with beards and children on stage with them.
And
and then they redepicted the Last Supper, which was, you know, one of those beautiful moments as a Christian that we look at Scripture and we look at the message that was taught during the Last Supper and what that was all about, and they reconfigured it into their own disgusting.
And my from a.
So I'm done. I'm out. I will not watch the Olympics. I don't judge people like your position. I totally get it. I don't. But just for me personally, I would feel, and I'll let you talk. But I believe I'm called to live up to what I know. And God put it on my heart to say, no, you don't need to watch that. And so I'm just not going to. But if someone else is like, yeah, I'm boycotting that, but I'm still going to support my athletes, that's cool. I don't have a problem with it at all. I see no conflict in our positions being different.
Well, and mine comes not from a religious standpoint, because that wasn't my end.
Yeah.
My end was I was sitting there watching with my daughter.
Right. Yeah.
This is supposed to be wholesome enough for the whole family, something they can look up to and aspire towards.
Right.
And my 10-year-old daughter is sitting there going, what is he wearing that for? Why are they doing that? And you're like, why are they doing that? What does that have to do with the Olympics at all?
Do you remember the story that we learned about it growing up in school? You know, the emperor has no clothes, and it took a child to call out and say, hey, why's the emperor naked walking down the street? And all the adults are clapping. Oh, you look beautiful in your robes, and he's naked walking down the street. But a kid looks at it and says, hey, that's wrong, and that's what's happening. His children are looking at that and saying, what the heck? And adults are standing around clapping as if, oh, this is so great. You know, it's a complete emperor has no clothes, complete farce. And yeah, just from taking my Christ limbs out of it and putting, although it's still going to be there, but my children, my granddaughter, I mean, me sitting with little Olivia watching that, like, I'm gonna shield her from that.
Why would I try and explain that? Because there is no explaining that.
Yeah.
Well, that's really where I was going, and I just wanted to have the conversation. Why has this affected any of you guys watching or not watching this year? Again, from my end, I'm disappointed in the whole thing. Yeah, am I surprised? I'm not surprised at all.
And I'm a huge boxing fan, so it's like I'm missing. You know, a lot of these up and coming guys are going to be turning pro, and so you're watching them. It's like there's just so much.
Which it's a disservice to them.
It is.
I mean, they're working their ass off doing this, paying the dues, and now they don't get the audience they should have because of this fun little moment that everyone decided to have. These new little rules of let's take Jesus out of everything.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Disappointing.
He's the only one that's mocked, man. He's the only one because he's the only threat.
Well, tell me your thoughts. Are you guys watching? Do you have a similar scenario? Do you have someone in your family that likes to argue with you about everything, but you really believe the same things? If so, tell me. Leave a comment below. Great lunch. I'm sweating. It's hot. I think we're about cooked.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. This is the longest video I've ever made.
I know.
Ever. I think it's like a half hour.
All right.
If you hung out this long, let me know. I'll get you a sticker.
You can give them one of your chips, but you get to keep two of them.
Poker chips. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great weekend. Pirate.
Fish.
See you later. Arg.